So this is the Wim1 developer kit. It's the company's smartwatch, and as you can see, it uses a very simple carousel interface to navigate through with all your different apps shown as different tiles on this carousel. And if you swipe down, you get back to the watch face with the time, the date, and the weather. If you pull down again slightly, you get to see the battery status and Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, flight mode activated. To actually get into an app, so for instance the stopwatch, you just tap and then tap again to start, stop, and all of these apps are, swipe down to get rid of an app, all these apps are basically running on a kind of slightly modified Android basis. So it comes with various preset ones which are all easy to use. There's an alarm, timer, world clock, and basically it's all swipe related, so you can navigate through that way. Calendar, which can pull across your calendar from your smartphone if that's set up. The weather. And then there are various sort of micro apps that developers are already starting to create. So for instance, there's a calculator, which allows you to obviously do calculations, funnily enough, and not all kind of sensible. So there's a newsreader which comes with various different preset Google Reader feeds, so you can tap to go in, read through, swipe to keep moving through the different stories, or you can set up your Google News Reader account and pull in your RSS subscriptions that way. And there's also an example of games that you might have. So this is Labyrinth, which works using the accelerometer. Probably can't see that very well because I'm holding it at an angle, but basically it's like one of those Labyrinth Teeter games with various levels, and you use the accelerometer in the Wim to navigate through. Now obviously it's designed as a companion for your smartphone. So for instance, here is an Android device. At the moment there is a Android client but not a iOS client. There's also a BlackBerry app, though an iPhone version is on the way. And as you can see, it's connected via Bluetooth, and then you can choose to have SMS messages and caller ID. Send a text message to my phone, I get the alert up on the Wim1 showing who it's from based on the contact that's saved with and the message itself, which you can get rid of. You can't actually reply to it on the Wim1, you can just preview it. And you can also, obviously, if someone calls your phone, you get caller ID as well. So if I just give the phone a ring, what you should see happen and from here I can basically dismiss the call and send it to voicemail. You can't actually answer it on the Wim itself. The idea is that you pull out your phone or your Bluetooth headset, that kind of thing, and answer it on there. Now the app itself on the Android app does have some other stores. Basically Wim will be starting its own application store. There'll be a tab for all the different apps that you can install. Obviously that's not ready yet for this kind of developer release. In fact, developers are only just now being invited to order one. And also when you have a developer account, you can then get to the same setup pages that you would get to online through the app itself. So you have everything from general settings, which gives you a choice of things like time and date format, time offset, what day the week starts, location services, so you can choose which your home city is, for instance, so you can set for the weather forecast, how often it synchronizes, which obviously will have an impact on battery life, And then there's also various different watch faces that you can choose from. Choose them in here, and you scroll through them on the WIM itself. There's also all the various micro app settings, if I can get in before it shuffles me off somewhere else. So you can choose which applications are shown on the display and which aren't. So for instance, if you don't use the stopwatch, you don't have to have it there. Something which there isn't there at the moment, which would be pretty useful, is a preview of Gmail. At the moment there's no Gmail app. There you can see where you'd add your Google Calendar or Exchange Calendar to see the calendar entries coming through. But yeah, there's no Gmail app, so you can't get a preview of your incoming messages. So we're hoping that a developer will add that in pretty soon. At the moment, without the WIM store, to actually copy apps across, you plug it in using the magnetic sled and just basically copy over an APK file straight into the root directory of the WIM one itself. Now, this isn't necessarily what you will see sold to consumers when that actually starts happening. WIM expects different hardware companies to kind of get on board and produce their own watch straps, for instance, and the idea is that this will be a standardized form factor, so this will just be able to slot into your different watch, maybe your clip for your bag, that kind of thing. But at the moment, it's an interesting start. The WIM's obviously got the support of Foxconn behind them, so that's a pretty big manufacturing partner. And the system works reasonably well. Battery life kind of certainly will last you throughout the day and more. So and that's with a Bluetooth connection sort of persistent. So we have no problems on that front. And then you just drop it onto the charger overnight. So that's the WIM One developer kit. An interesting product, and one that's only likely to get more interesting as the months and developers climb aboard.